So we don't need to use words to describe him, except haq. Okay, we keep reading. This is from Surah 6 verse 62. ثُمَّ رُدُّوا إِلَى اللَّهِ مَوْلَاهُمُ الْحَقِّ. All of the people will be sent back to Allah, who is both their Mawla and Haq. So at some point in our lives, everyone goes back towards Haq. And we contempt and acknowledge Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our origin and our Mawla, our true Mawla. So Haq is Allah. Allah is Haq. Our origin is back to Allah, meaning we're going back towards Haq. Mullah Sadra discusses this in detail about how all individuals are going through a journey of 4 journeys. The Asfar al-Arba' he calls it. I'm not going to go into them now. And all of them are based on how close are you to Haq. Are you going towards Haq? Are you with Haq? Are you coming back from Haq? Your whole life is known by proximity to this. You're all going back towards one reality. The Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam I am here for you, O truth, O Allah. That's how we talk to God. You are the truth. So, beginning with Allah is Haq. Now, this Haq we have is also known alongside its opposites, which is Batil. The Quran says both of these things are true, Haq and Batil. They're not ideas, not opinions, they are realities. Remember, Islam has not come to give us Aqidah. Islam has come to give us Haqiqat. Yeah? This book is filled with reality. The verse says, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Ja'a al-haqqu wa zahaqa al-batil. Haq has come now, and batil has gone. Wal-batil, inna al-batil kana zahuqan. And batil is something which vanishes and sinks away when haq comes. So these two things are not the same, haq and batil. And both cannot be there at once. When haq comes, batil goes. When batil comes, haq can no longer remain. These things are wujud and are existing things. This, by the way, is one proof of Imam Zaman as well, that there will come a time when haq will come, and we will see that haq coming. And others will not see, إِنَّهُمْ يَرَوْنَهُ بَعِيدًا وَنَرَاهُ قَرِيبًا. They will see haq as far away, but we see Imam Zaman as so close towards us. His return is imminent. Haq is coming. Batil is going away. We keep reading. That we say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is haq, we say وَأَنَّ مَا يَدَعُونَ مِن دُونِ الْبَاطِلِ. Allah is haq, and whatever they try and say to take me away from haq, that thing is batil. Okay, so now it's very clear. We have two wujudi, dhati things, haq and batil. And Allah is haq. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to bring us towards haq, towards Himself. It's not enough that Haq is there and I am myself. He brings us towards Him. So He creates many things to bring us towards Haq. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, the Quran says, وَيَحِقَّ اللَّهُ الْحَقَّ بِكَلِمَاتِهِ. Number one, Allah wants to bring you towards Haq with kalimat, with His words. So He revealed the Quran. And this whole book is there to take you back towards the reality. Number two, وَإِنَّ وَعْدَ اللَّهُ حَقَّ. And the promise of Allah is true. So He's giving us a promise, which we have to look for in this word. Kalimat, wa'ad. There is something in this earth that if we find it, it takes us back towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Are you with me, inshallah? Okay. This, what I have just said, is the complete opposite of what postmodernism in this world wants you to believe. We listen a lot. La ilaha illallah, Allahu al-haq, Zahir al-haq, wa'ataqal haqqa. I get it. Islam is true, Allah is true. Not in the world we live in. No, this world has changed. There was a time you could speak proudly and say, I follow Allah, He is my Lord. You can't even speak like that anymore. And day by day, the value of religion is becoming less and less, and the ability to mock religion is becoming more and more. In postmodernism, this is a very delicate point. In postmodernism, in the world we live in now, I might think I know haq, but all I am doing is just repeating what my culture has taught me. That's what they'll say. When I say La ilaha illallah, when I say Jannah is haq and Mizan is haq and all these things, this word means, okay fine, you believe in haq, but that Christian has his belief in haq as well. He has his book. And that Hindu has his haq. And that Jewish person, and that humanist, and the atheist, and the agnostic, they all come with their haq. What makes you think your haq is true and theirs are false? So they say, you know what? Actually, none of them is true. They're all just ideas in your culture. And why do they say this? Because so when they do something for which you have to sacrifice your religion, you are all prepared to. Because Islam is just your culture, it's not your religion. I'll give you an example. In France, when they banned the wearing of the hijab for girls in school and public life to some degree, many people said, you know what, that's just simply their culture of Islam. And if you want to live in a country like France, or like the UK, or America, or Canada, you have to follow the law of the land. And if the law requires you to sacrifice your culture, well remember, you've come to a new culture, a new country, and you have to embrace that culture. And so what happens? In that case, you know what I'll do? I'll let go of my religion, I'll let go of my hijab, I'll let go of all my principles, because they're just culture. Culture can change all the time. This is the idea they want you to have. When it comes to choose between your religion or something else, if they weaken the idea of haqq in your mind, you are so much more ready to abandon your religion. It's not haqq anymore, it's just my culture. In there's a scholar, an academic professor, Legenhausen. He discusses how the mentality of the West is to encourage that the religion is free. Freedom of religion. So long as each religion is considered equal. And if they're equal, no one religion is worth more than the other. And if they're not worth than the other, in Islam, you're going to lose the idea you're following haqiqah and something, well, I'm just following Islam for the sake of following Islam. Postmodernism then brings many challenges to Islam. He gives 3 challenges. Number 1, he says, if you take away the idea that Allah is haq from Islam, if you take it away, the whole point of Islam is to tell you what exists in the world. That's the point of Islam. It's not just some culture. For a culture, I'll go back to my home country. Islam tells you what is wujud, what is dhat, what is haqiqah, what exists, what's real. In a world full of fake news, what's the reality? If you take that away, what's left in Islam if you don't take away haq? Then he says, people worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you take away the idea that worshipping haq, what is the point of ibadah? Why am I spending all this time praying to Allah? Why am I doing Qadr? Why am I praying all night? Why Salatul Layl? Why is it Ashra? Why Dua Ahad? Why am I telling my kids, wake up Fajr? If when the time comes to let go of Islam, it's the first thing they let go of. What's the point of Islam then, if it's something which is just on the tongue? Yesterday I mentioned Abdullah, Muhammad Islam says, for some people, Islam is like flavor on their tongue. When it's tasty, they drink it. When it leaves them, there are no more religious people. So the second problem is, if we believe in postmodernism, why am I spending all of this time worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? إِنَّكَ كَادِهُنْ إِلَى رَبِّكَ كَادِحًا فَمُلَقِيهِ. Ya insan, you are working hard. Why am I going to work hard if it's just culture? The third issue, he says, if we believe postmodernism, that I have my haq, you have your haq, she has her haq, then all of Islam is just history. It's not real anymore. Quran is a religious artifact. You can go to a museum, you can see a book just like Quran. Ahlul Bayt are just like any figure in history. Any world leader, any war hero, are the same. They belong to Arabia, they lived in that time, they have some nice words. I like them, I like Confucius, I like Ali, I like Rumi, I like Alexander, I like Cicero. What's the difference between them? Islam is just history then. But we say no, Islam is haq for every time and error, it's reality. Islam tells us there's one haq. Postmodernism, there is many huquq. The problem comes where they don't want you to practice haq anymore in your life. That's where the issue comes. For as long as you're quiet, Islam is fine, no problem. But when you go on the streets and start marching, when you sign petitions, when you Jamaat outside, when you bring your julus outside, then they have to leave. Now why are you practicing your haq? It should be private for you. Imam Sajjad al-Insalam, in his book Risalatul, the book of rights, the greatest of al-Akbar al-Huquq is Ibadullah. The greatest of all the rights is worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For us, this thing is central to us. It's not an accident you're a Muslim, it's a part of your core identity. But in postmodernism, no. and neither can you associate with other people of haqq either. Okay? Keep it personal and private. However, in Islam, in the path of Ahl al-Bayt, in the path of Imams of Ahl al-Bayt, you follow haqq by looking for those people who are near haqq. And when you find others who are like you, that's how you build a golden society. We have a narration which says, إِنَّ الْحَقْ وَالْبَاطِلِ Haqq and batil لَا تَعْرِفَانِ They are not something which you can know بِتَقْدِيرِ الرِّجَالِ by the people who speak about them. Haqq is not known by who's speaking haqq. وَالْأَعْرِفْ الْحَقْ تَعْرِفُ بِأَحْلِهَا Know haqq and then you know the people of haqq. And know batil and you know the people of batil. Haqq is not known by how advanced people are, by how many people are speaking about one thing, by how rich they are, how funny they are, what their government is. They don't get to choose what is right and wrong anymore. 30,000 people could stand on Ashra against Abu Abdullah. Just because they are more, it doesn't mean that they are on haqq and Abu Abdullah is not on haqq. Know haqq and then you know its people. Here you might ask a question, when was this said? Actually, Moharram mentioned it yesterday for those who were in the Urdu lecture. Battle of Jamal. People are watching and saying there are two forces, ashab versus ashab. Awlad versus awlad. This makes no sense to us. Imam Ali then says, if you know haqq, then you know its people. Only if you know haqq, you know where haqq is found among the people. Okay. Therefore, if you know the truth, you must follow those who are truthful. If the Quran tells us what haqq is, it should tell us who are the siddiqeen as well. Who are those people who are with the truth? Then I know in my life who to go towards to find haqq. So now let's go back to the Quran. And now look for who are those people who are the people of truth, who are every time you see haqq, you see them alongside haqq. The verse I mentioned beginning, Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, attaqullah. All people of Iman, have taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in kuntum sadiqeen, so that you might be among those who are sadiqeen, the truthful ones. Who are those honest and truthful ones around us? Ibn Abbas says those siddiqeen are those people who practice what they preach. When they say something, they do that thing. Someone comes to Rasulullah and says, Ya Rasulullah, this verse of Quran, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu attaqullah wa kunu ma'as sadiqeen, you'll be among the sadiqeen. Who are those sadiqeen we should follow, who are the people of truth? The Prophet says, this verse has one aam and one khas. Are you guys with me, inshallah? All verses can have general or specific. For example, Ya ayyuhan nas, this is general. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, general. Ya ayyuhar rasul, specific, it's about him only. The Prophet says, this verse is about all people and also it's about one person. When it comes to all people, siddiqeen are all those people who are true to the wa'ad of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When it comes to specific, this verse is revealed in honor of myself and my brother Ali bin Abi Talib. When the Quran mentions siddiqeen, it means Abu Turab. He's the truthful one. If you want truth, go towards him. So then he says, the one who submits to truth, along this verse, becomes sadiqeen. When you go to sleep saying, Ashhadu anna Ali waliyullah, the Prophet says, when you wake up, the sun wakes up with you and does rizq for you. Why? Because you're with sadiqeen. So when you wake up, the sun starts sending you blessings because you're with sadiqeen. Let's keep reading. Who are those people of truth who are always with the truth? The verse is Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. من المؤمنين الرجال صدقوا ما عهد الله عليهم. There are those people, among those people of Iman are those men, those Rijal, who are honest and true with the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the person says, Ya Rasulullah, who is that man or those men who are always true and honest with the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Who are Siddiqeen? The Prophet says, listen to this narration. He says, one day, an angel comes to Rasulullah, an angel, with 20 heads. So it is one of the greatest of Malaika. The angel comes towards him. Rasulullah sees the angel and wants to greet the Malaika, the angel himself. The angel says, no, you are afdal to me. Even though I have 20 heads as ibadat, you are Rasulullah, you are Khatim al-Nabiyyin, you are greater than me, so I have come to meet you. The narration says, when that angel turns and goes away, there are some lines written between its shoulders, between its back. What are we trying to prove? Who was Siddiqeen? Written on the back of the angel with 20 heads who came to Rasulullah are the words, La ilaha illallah, wa Muhammadur Rasulullah, wa Aliyyun Siddiq al-Akbar. There is no God but Allah. There is no Rasul except Muhammad. And Ali is the greatest of those who are honest and truthful. Siddiq al-Akbar. On this earth, someone else might claim he is Siddiq, but in the angels, all of them are doing dhikr of Ali as Siddiq al-Akbar. So then, Rasulullah says, when were these words written on your back that Ali is Siddiq al-Akbar? When was it written? On what time was it written? The angel says, Ya Rasulullah, 10,000 years before Adam was born, the words were written on my back, Ali is Siddiq al-Akbar. 10,000 before. It is known in the heavens, the most truthful is no one other than Ali ibn Abi Talib sallallahu alayhi. Can we all come further and close, inshallah, towards the top? They may call someone else as Siddiq, but the angels call Ali Siddiq al-Akbar. The Malaika call Siddiq al-Akbar. Our angel from Ali Rida alayhi salam. Says in every religion, in every faith, there is two. There is one who is Siddiq and one who is Faruq. In all faiths, there is someone who is Siddiq, honest. And there's one who is Faruq. Faruq is someone who is the one who distinguishes between right and wrong. Except Islam. In Islam, both Siddiq and Faruq are found in one individual, my grandfather Ali ibn Abi Talib. In this religion, both were in one individual. Okay, so what does the verse say? Look for the truth and you'll find people of truth. And the Quran, every time the word truthful is mentioned, the same people come up. Either it's Fatima, or the Awlad of Fatima, or the Aba of Fatima. Let's keep reading. The verse says, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Earlier I said, when haqq comes, batil goes away. Remember I mentioned that verse? وَجَعَهُ بِزَرْقَ الْبَاطِلِ. Read the verse. وَالَّذِينَ جَاءَ الصِّدْقِ وَصَدَقَ بِهِ. There are some people who bring sidq and not some who accept sidq. Some people bring the truth, others accept the truth. Someone comes to my mind and says, Ya Imam, who is that person who brings the truth? Who's the one who receives the truth? And he says, the one who brought the truth was Rasulullah, but the one who accepted the truth was me, Ali. Every time he brought something, I would follow it. He says, sleep in Mi'raj, I slept. He says, stand on Ashra, I stood 3 times. He said, come with me to Najran, I became the nafs at Mubabila. Every time he called me, I came. This is the one who accepted the truth. What does Shah say? He says, Mihrab mein Ali to minbar pe hai Ali. Mihrab mein Ali to minbar pe hai Ali. Kaaba gawah hai dosh paygambar pe hai Ali. Hijrat ki shab Rasul ke bistar pe hai Ali. Jannat Ali ki milk hai Kausar pe hai Ali. Har ja Ali milenge na daman bachaiye. Bachna Ali se hai to jahannam mein jaiye. Ali. Every time you look for it, the same person is there. Maybe that's why Rasulullah says, Al-Haq ma Ali wa Ali ma al-Haq. Ali is with the Haq. And you know, these two things are not the same thing, by the way. Remember this. They're not the same thing. Al-Haq ma Ali is whatever Ali does is Haq. This makes sense. The Prophet says, if everyone goes into one valley, everyone, all the companions, all the awliya, all the awsiya, if they all go into one valley, but Ali goes into another valley, you follow Ali into that valley. This is Haqq Ma'ali, this is Ali Ma'al-Haq. But Haqq Ma'ali is different. Are you with me, inshallah? Haqq Ma'ali is a whole different level of ma'rifah. We all read Ziyarat Ali Yasin about Imam Zaman alayhi salam. Ya Imam, Al-Haq ma radaytahu, wal-Batil ma askhadtahu. Haqq is whatever you are happy with. Batil is what you are displeased with. This is Haqq ma Ali. It's not the case that Ali does Haqq. Haqq knows it's Haqq because Ali does it. Batil knows it's Batil because Ali refuses against it. Yeah, and Haqq is doing taqleed of Ali ibn Abi Talib. How does Haqq know it's Haqq? Because it's with Ali. How does is batil, no, it's not haq, because Ali is not even near this action. Ali wal haq ma Ali. Can I give you one more point on this, inshallah? The Prophet says, Ali wal haq ma Ali. Ali is with haq, haq's with Ali. These two things will stay together until the pool of Kawthar. Which things? Ali and haq. They'll not go away from each other. Why the pool of Kawthar? Why? That's haq's with Ali. Because the riwayah tells us on that last possible moment when all insan are gathered together, outside where? Heaven and hell. The Malik of heaven and earth, whose name is Harith, will bring the keys of heaven to Rasulullah. And the angel of hell, Malik, will bring the same keys of heaven to Rasulullah and they say, Ya Rasulullah, all insan have come for their hisab. You are Khatamun Nabiyyin. So we give you the keys of heaven and the keys of hell. Whomsoever you wish to send to heaven and hell, you can send. On that day, before Kawthar, the narrations tell us, Rasulullah will take both keys of heaven and hell and give them both to Abu Turab. And then say, Ya Rasulullah, why are we giving both keys of heaven and hell to him? And he'll say, have you not heard that Ya Ali anta qasim al-nar wal jannah? You are the one who splits between heaven and hell. If you like someone, heaven. If you hate someone, hell. No, no. You split. What do we say? Haq ma'ali. Let any postmodernist come and say haq's not real. Show them Abu Turab and Khaybar. We'll show you who's real. Let me go one step further. Many people came to Imam and said, is it true that your father died a kafir? Abu Turab. Abu Talib. Is it true? Your father, Abu Talib, died when he wasn't even a Muslim. Nobody replied to them, even if it was true, although it's not true, that my father was a Muslim, have you not heard that I am Qasim al-Nar wal Jannah? Do I not choose who goes to heaven and hell? If that's true, what son does not send their father into heaven? This is Haq Ma Ali. This unwan I have opened up for you leads us towards another reality, which is when the Quran mentions, actually the Holy Prophet on the day of Ghadir said the same thing, which was that Ya Ali, on the day of Ghadir, whoever is your friend is my friend, who is your enemy is my enemy. Then he said this line, وَعَدْرِ الْحَقُّ مَعْهُ حَيْثُ الدَّارِ. Ya Ali, wherever you turn, haq turns with you. If you go to the left, haq goes there. If you go right, haq goes there. Yani wherever you turn, haq goes with you. Haq ma Ali. When they came to Ali and said, Ya Ali, why don't you give bay'at to the first Khalifa? Why don't you? He says himself, in Shishariya in Najbarabah. He says the words, Wallahi, لَقَدْ تَخَمَّسَ إِبْنَ أَبِي قَحَافَةَ. The son of Abi Qahafa, the first Khalifa, clothed himself with something. وَلَكِنْ يَعْلُوا مَحَلِّي مِنِّي حَلِّي قُطُبْ مِنَ الرِّيَاضِ. He, the first Khalifa, put on himself clothing which was not fit for him, even though he knew that Khilafah is to me like the hand mill is to the axis. What does that mean? You know when a mill is going round and round? In the middle of that mill there is one fixed point, the axis. When that thing turns, all of the mill turns. If that thing goes left, the whole thing goes left. If that mill goes clockwise, the whole thing goes clockwise. And he says, they took Khilafah from me. Even though all of Islam turns from my wishes, the way a mill turns from his axis. I am at the center of this deen. I taught them Islam and I should be compared to them. Ali ma'ana wal haq ma'a Ali. This reality is what they're trying to take away from you and from your children. They don't want to be there's one haq. There's no one reality anymore. There is your child's reality in school and the other child's reality. And they should not want you to be proud of being a follower of Ali alayhi salam. However, Imam Hussein alayhi salam stands to prove to all of you, be proud of following Ali, who is Khalifatul Fasl. Don't let go of this reality. And on the day of Ashura, I come to my last point and then we go towards Masai. Imam Hussein alayhi salam makes it very clear, if you don't have haq, your society will fall apart.